Okay, hello. Welcome to Johnny the Greek's Free Real Estate. This is episode 8. This week I am joined with my good friend and one of the, I guess you could say, the founding fathers of the IDP guys, Joey the Tooth at Joey the Tooth IDP on Twitter. It's Mr. Joey Hagan. Joey, how are you, sir?
I am very good. How about you, Johnny? It's nice to talk to you. I haven't heard or seen from you in a while.
Yeah, no, same man. It's these have been great because I get like a chance, a non in season chance to talk to like guys like you and Macri and Josh and Adam and everyone. It's usually in the season it's like Christ knows how many shows a week,
Oh yeah,
and then nothing.
it's true. It's so true. You can do like four in a row, and then it's just like 6 weeks later. Hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. So let's get this out of the way because I almost swore right there. So this is a free fire zone. Everyone knows that. This is episode 8 by now. You know the drill. Put on headphones if you got a kid in the room, or put headphones on them. This is not safe for work. Don't blame me if you get in trouble. With that being said, let's get into it. Joey, what have you been up to, man, since the season? What's new?
Uh, Doing the rookie draft mag again for this is the third edition for IDP guys. I've been cranking out on that. Just finished my second round of IDP projections already for the off season. I did a pre-draft, and then I just finished another one post-draft with rookies. So got that set up for the IDP guys website so they can get integrated into the scoring tool. Um, Other than fantasy football, I started writing with UConn Sports Illustrated, so that's been kind of cool. Did a couple interviews with some guys on the team, a couple
Yeah,
coaches.
that's right. I've been seeing stuff on that. Are you doing just football or other sports too?
Just football to start. They said feel free to go with any sport I want, but my goal is to kind of try to get into football as much as I can. Think I'm going to try to go to a couple of games this year because even if I don't get a press pass or anything, tickets like good tickets are only like $35,
Yeah.
and they have a good schedule this year, so it'd be kind of interesting to go see how they do.
Yeah, and isn't the Falcons dude here now, Mora?
Yeah, Jim Mora and Lou Spanos is their D coordinator. He won 2 Super Bowls with the Steelers as their D
Oh,
coordinator.
what? Yeah, yeah. When I saw Mora got hired, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Because I mean, anyone not from Connecticut's not going to know like the Yukon football background, which was like, we were Big East basketball. That was our bread and butter, and they made that huge football investment, bought the stadium on like basically chemically radioactive ground that they
Hmm.
didn't know about. It rolled all the dice on football. It did not work out, and now we've crawled our way back into a basketball conference to
Yep.
save our asses. But it looks like they're trying again with Mora.
Yeah, and they've done well. They did. They had their. I think it's their best recruiting class ever. They've had a couple of high power transfers. I mean, they're starting quarterbacks now. A 4-star former recruit that went to Penn
Ooh,
State.
nice. I didn't know
So
that.
so yeah, Roberson. I'm sorry, Taquan Roberson. Yeah, he transferred. They just got a 3-star quarterback recruit out of Florida. They just recently got a wide receiver transfer from the University of Texas. I mean,
Ooh,
yeah, it's been nice. And they've
Da-
had a couple of 3-star just straight recruit defensive ends. It looks good, man.
nice. That'd be great. That'd be great to have them back relevant again for that. Because I mean, basketball's back. Men made the
Right.
tournament this year. Like that was. I mean, immediately got crushed, but that's fine. I mean, at least they made it. And
Yeah, and
it's
they looked good throughout the season. It was very nice to see. It's been a while. It's like usually it's like, all right, we might scrape into the tournament now as like a 10, 11 seed, but I mean even this year is still only I think an 8 seed, but it looked a
yeah,
lot better.
right. It was we knew they were in, which was nice this year. And yeah, it's like a basketball state, so that's good to see, and it'll be good to see some football too. So that's awesome. That's a pretty cool gig right there.
Yeah. Then
Nice.
other than that, I actually just finished the first draft of my first book that I actually have our friend Josh looking over with me to give me some tips and pointers on.
Nice. That's a children's book you're working on, right?
No, the children's book's done. I actually just finished a action adventure fiction book.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's literally so the premise of the story is it's three best friends who I pretty much based the characters off of me, my brother, and my best friend Snacks for a while. It made characterization quite easy. So it's three best friends that grow up. They meet this chick who's awesome, who eventually moves away, and they just grow up to become a bunch of stoners and hang out together, live in this one house together, and then the girl comes back, so they all hang out with her again. Come to find out, she ends up being a her parents are Celtic gods. And yeah, and they get dragged into this war between gods from all sorts of different realms, and it just gets super freaking intense. And it brings in like Greek mythology into it. It brings in a whole bunch of different stuff, and it's just an incredibly intense story, but fun to write.
That sounds cool, man. And yeah, I mean, this is not your first rodeo with writing a book, so a little different, but I
Oh yeah,
mean, that's awesome, dude. Why not, right? Like that
exactly.
I think that's excuse me, a lesson that we both learned early with all this is like just put it out there, you'd be surprised. I didn't think anyone would ever read any of the shit I put out, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, same. And like my buddy Snacks told me, why don't you just start putting some stuff on Twitter? Somebody will ask you to write, and that's how I got with you guys. I was like, what do you know? Now what's that? 4 or 5 years?
yeah, exactly. That's half the battle, man. Just put it out there, see what happens. So is Josh's company publishing it or what's the
I'm
next
hoping
step?
so. I'm gonna ask him once we're through everything because he's literally going through like chapter by chapter, and he's giving me pointers. Hey, why don't you do this? Change this up here. This is what I would do here. Straight like he's being an editor. It's freaking fantastic. So we're gonna go through there, and then I'm gonna see if he can help me with the process of getting it published and everything too.
Nice, dude. That's awesome. Well, I certainly hope it happens for you.
Yeah, definitely. I think it will eventually, even if I have to go through like self publishing. But I just want to get it out there because it's actually a really cool freaking story.
Nice, man. Well, that is good stuff. So, I mean, I haven't probably talked to you since the Super Bowl. So let's start there, and then we'll get to the Celtics because do got to talk Celtics also. But Niners went on a run, man.
Oh,
Like,
they did.
wow, that was not expected. And then, I mean, thoughts like talk me through that playoff run.
It was the defense, man. It was the defense and taking care of the football. They didn't turn the football over, and their secondary surprisingly played better than it had all season, and that was obviously their weak point. I mean, Jimmy Ward played fantastic in the playoffs. He had a great playoff run. Um, Emmanuel Mosley played well. Even was it Ambry Thomas? He came on late in the season as a rookie, but I mean, their defense just played very good. Linebackers, front line to the back, it was their defense that carried them, and then running the football. I mean, Jimmy G didn't turn the ball over until the NFC Championship game. But honestly, it's just it. You just saw what Jimmy G is. Jimmy G. I mean, he doesn't have great pocket awareness, and he gets a little rushed in the pocket, and he makes mistakes. That's just how it is. He tries to force stuff. It's like Brett Favre, but with a lot less skill.
Yeah, and a lot better looking. I
Yeah,
hear you.
I mean, he is gorgeous.
Yeah, no doubt. But I mean, it I don't know. It felt like it was the Rams' year, just like a destiny year for them too.
It
So,
did. But in the fact that the Niners were able to literally push them till the end is like,
yeah,
all right, we could have won the Super Bowl.
yeah, dude, it was close. It was
And it's
real
like,
close. Yeah,
that's what's slightly crushing about it. It's like, well, shit.
yeah, it
All
was
right, so
def.
now what do we do this year? It's like, all right, do we try to run it back with Jimmy G and see if he's
Mm,
going to help us out? Do we give this rookie who we just spent 3 first round draft picks on, do we just give him the reins and risk a year that could potentially get us back to the Super Bowl? Or it's like, well, what are you going to do now, Shanahan and Lynch? Just show us what you
yeah,
got.
it's tough when you have that window like that because I mean, you've seen even last year two differing approaches to that window. The Packers window was open and they didn't make the push. The Rams did. Rams won the Super Bowl.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. So, and then the Debo Samuel deal, asking
mm,
for a trade. I mean, I
yeah,
kind of get it in his mind. Like he doesn't want to be used as a running back. I mean, obviously it'll kill his shelf life. So he wants to have a long career. So I think so. Everybody says that 3rd round pick, the LSU running back, was just a trash pick for the 49ers. I think that was them saying, "Hey, Debo, he's going to take that role we were giving to you. He's just a big bruising running back. Don't worry about it. Stick with us," because you haven't really heard much since the draft. He still has had his
right.
stance, but I think that was them saying, "Hey, we want to keep you around. We got our back. Who we're going to have run your role. Don't worry about it." I'm hoping
Yeah,
at least.
yeah, do not wanna lose him. I mean,
No.
gee, what a talent that guy is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just freaking die hard, man. As much as he didn't want to run the ball, every time he ran the ball, he just ran with just power and just passion. You'd love to see it.
Yeah, definitely, dude. So, yeah, I mean, you guys are obviously still got a real good shot here this year, and the NFC being so weak this year, alls it takes is an injury or 2 to the Rams, and,
Mhm.
It's wide open. AFC different story, but that's okay.
Especially the AFC West, man. The AFC West is just unbelievable.
Oh, it's unreal, right? Like,
Who do you pick?
gosh, I don't know, man. It's loaded. AFC North too. I mean,
Yeah,
Steelers took a step back a little bit with the quarterback stuff, but that's like 7 teams right there. Like,
right.
that's insane.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just glad I'm not in the AFC. What about the Cowboys though? That they got
Uh,
rid of Cooper. Are you
ugh.
excited for Gallup and
No,
Wilson?
the wind is all out of my sails.
Really?
Oh, completely. Last year, everything lined up. Things looked great. I was optimistic for the first time in a long time last year, and I got kicked right in the junk immediately. So now I'm back to fully pessimistic again.
The story of a Cowboys fan.
Yeah,
Oh,
but hey,
that's unfortunate.
it at least the Celtics, are in the conference finals here. So I was a little pissed the other night. They're down 2 starters. They get up what? They're up like 20, I think, at one point, or
And
damn
even
near
running in
close
the
to it.
half up 8.
Right. Yeah.
So
So
you got to hand it to Spolstra
yeah.
because he locked down the defense that third quarter. But at the same time, and the same thing happened in the freaking Bucks series. It was driving me nuts. You got these guys that the Celtics are playing that are getting superstar treatment, right? So this is what Giannis does. Giannis is so good because he's so long and he's so athletic and he can handle the ball. He just goes full speed at the hoop. Full speed, no matter what. If he creates contact, you create contact. There's a foul being called. How many free throws did he shoot in that series? Jimmy Butler, you watch him. His game is the mid-range game. What does he do this game? He backs people in. He leans in, creates contact, puts either an up and under move, some sort of fadeaway, some little post move, creating contact, and then he got to the free throw line 18 times in
Mm.
game one. 18 times and made 17 of them. So everybody's like, oh, he had 41 points. He had a great game. No, he shot great from the free throw line. Fuck you. Fuck Jimmy Butler. Pissed me off.
Yeah. Fuck Jimmy Butler. Yeah. No, I honestly hope the Celtics can pull it out. I really do.
I do
That makes
too.
the finals so much better when a
Oh,
team
yeah.
like that is there. Like,
And I mean, I give Spolstra all the credit in the world. I like Spolstra. I even like Bam Adebayo, and I like Tyler Hero. I think their post game interview was freaking hilarious. If you saw it, did you see it at all?
no, no, I didn't see that.
So Bam Adebayo's sitting here with a sleeveless shirt, and he's just freaking massive, right? And here comes Tyler Hero, scrawny, backwards hat. He's got a sleeveless shirt on, and he just gets up next to him. He's like, he's going like this, and he's looking at him, and Bam's just like, he rolls up in the morning, he's just going like this, and it's like, it's like you two are cool. Jimmy Butler, he tries to act so tough too. That's the thing that drives me nuts about Jimmy Butler. He's got that attitude about him where he thinks he's tough as hell, and it's just I don't it doesn't bode well with me. And then just to watch that game, it's like I hate to compare everything to when Michael Jordan played, but it's like Michael Jordan never created contact. He played through contact. He didn't
Right.
create contact and expect to get to the line. Like these guys create contact and then get a continuation to get to the line and an easy shot. It's like it's not basketball, man. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, I hear you, man. The league has certainly changed quite a bit. Yeah, and I don't know. That was a golden opportunity to steal a game down 2 starters. So that's what pissed me off was like, they had a really good chance.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, all right, that's good. So that's what's new. I don't remember. I think we did do this on IDP guys, but it must have been years ago. So let's do it again. Let's start at the beginning. So how did, when did you start watching football? Was that a family thing? Was that like a dad thing? Like, talk me through that.
Yeah, it was me, my dad, my brother. So I was 5 years old. My brother was 6. 1990, we were watching the only game I don't even remember what game it was, but I remember watching Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. And my dad was a Giants fan and my dad was a 49ers fan. And luckily I got to watch the 49ers game and I watched that and I was like, ooh, I like them. So that's when I started watching football. Became a 49ers fan and I have been ever since 1990. So it's at 32 years.
Yeah, dude. Hey, that's the way to do it, right? Like, no matter what your team is, you got to stick with them. You can't be bouncing
And
around.
yeah,
Yeah,
been through it all, the good, the bad, the incredibly ugly,
yeah.
the poor Alex Smith years that got
Mm.
wasted on him.
How
Couldn't
old
be good.
did you remember how old were you when that Steve Young Super Bowl,
I was
94?
10.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you remember that was like starter jacket time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I had a starter jacket, of course. And that's actually you asked what one of my favorite football memories is, right?
Yeah.
And it was that third play of the game in that Super Bowl. It was a 44-yard touchdown from Steve Young to Jerry Rice. It was just like you saw that play and you're like, all right, they're gonna wipe the floor. And this Super Bowl is theirs. Like that was just it was just I don't know that play for
It
some
was a
odd reason.
it was a bloodbath.
It
That
was.
Super Bowl was a bloodbath. And then the famous quote, "Get this monkey off my back," because he was in Montana's shadow for all those
Yep.
years. Like,
Yep.
yeah, those were crazy years, man. Because it was like NFC won the Super Bowl. What, like 8 of 10 of those years or something like that? That
Yep.
decade,
And the poor
like,
Bills were there for 4 of them.
right?
That was the worst. I felt bad for Jim Kelly. It's like, man, you are good. Don't get me wrong, but four straight was it four straight or like 4 or 5 or something like that? It
Yeah,
was,
no, it was 4 straight, I believe. It was like, what was it? Like, it was either Washington or the Giants, and then Cowboys,
and then Washington again, wasn't it?
or something like, or no, wait, it was, I can't remember. I know it was 4 straight, I believe.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
it was Washington, New York, and Dallas, and somebody else possibly in there.
Yeah, yeah, that sucks for them, but,
Yeah,
yeah, it was a different era back then.
it really was. But yeah, I mean, that's when I started watching football. I loved football and started watching defense a little more as I got older, I think. Deion Sanders being with the Niners. When Deion Sanders was with the Niners, I was like, all right. And then even later than that, like the Navarro Bowman, Patrick Willis years, it was like, all right, this is fun to watch. These guys actually make this fun to watch.
Yeah, Patrick Willis, man. It's funny. I've been asking that Mount Rushmore question, and everyone says Luke Kuechly, and for my money, Willis was just as good. Maybe not for as long, but numbers wise, consistency. Willis was the LB1 for a long time.
Yeah, I think Patrick Willis was matched skill wise 100% with Keekly. I think for me, I'd like Keekly is on my Mount Rushmore, but it's because I drafted him with my last pick of my first IDP draft, his rookie season. So it's like, all right. So and what he had 169 tackles in 16 games. It's like you are my boy forever.
Yeah, no, that worked out pretty good.
It did, definitely did.
Nice, dude. All right, so fuck it. We're already jumping out of order. Plus, we don't need to go
Sorry,
by.
it's my bad.
But no, that's fine. We don't need to go by numbers here. We're both capable of doing this. So, yeah. What do you this season? Tell me what you think. Niners. What's your prediction? How do you think the season goes? And who starts? Lance or Jimmy G?
I I honestly I think it's gonna be Lance. I think they have to go Lance. I mean he played well. His in what was it week 16, week 17? He played well.
It was the finals.
Was it the final game,
It
week
was
18?
the fantasy finals week, whatever that was,
Yes.
17 or something. Because I remember that in Superflex, I had him on the bench, and I was like, I got to do this. It
Yeah.
feels good.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think you have to start him. You invested so much into him, and you bolstered the defense a little bit. You went and you signed Travarius Ward, which is fantastic. That was a great signing for corner. They drafted Drake Jackson to pair up with pretty well, really outside of Bosa, an entire rotation on that line now, which should be nice. I mean, Kamoko Toure could possibly come in if he can stay healthy. He could be a nice boost to the pass rush. Um, you have Greenlaw, you have Fred Warner, of course, Al Shair. I mean, he was a godsend when Greenlaw went out last year. It was fantastic. Manuel Mosley, he can play either slot or outside. The defense I'm excited for. The offense depends what happens at quarterback and with Debo. I mean, I didn't really invest much after Debo and Ayuk. It was kind of like I was hoping they were going to draft somebody, but they didn't really do much else. So they just drafted a bunch of offensive linemen that nobody really knew about, but apparently fit their scheme. So I'm going to give them credit with there because they usually do well drafting people who fit their scheme. So
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, they've seemed to be pretty solid lately. So Javon Kinlaw, do you think he bounces back? Do you guys finally get something out of him this year, or what do you
So I
think?
think I do because I think with bringing over Teray, drafting Jackson, it's going to shift um, Eric Armstead inside for good now. So I don't think you need to rely on Kinlaw being something that he's actually not. Because they were looking for him to be a pass rusher, looking for him to be a disruptor in the backfield. He can be the guy that can just take on blocks, clog lanes, and just he can still be a disruptor, but he doesn't have to be your pass rusher on the interior. That's going to be Eric Armstead because he played when he switched to that role at the end of last season. He played fantastic in that role. So I think adding to that pass rushing position on the edge, moving it Armstead inside, it's going to relieve some pressure off Kinlaw. If he can stay healthy, I think he could play very good this year.
Yeah, no, that'd be nice, man. And he is, we've been doing a bunch of these best balls and stuff, like on MFL where they got DT, and no one even knows he's there anymore. He's so
Yeah.
buried, like everyone's forgotten about him. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, and they all he had so much hype, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, he's going to replace Buckner." It's like I don't think he's the same guy as Buckner, but
Yeah.
I mean it's tough to fill. But still, I don't think he was even the same type of player. But yeah, I have high hopes. I mean, I still think we could be the second team in the NFC West. I think it's still the Rams division, but the Cardinals just seem in disarray, trading for Hollywood Brown. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems weird to me, but then I wonder if they knew Hopkins was already being suspended before they did that.
Yeah, and then there were those rumors with Hollywood Brown was like gonna retire and play video games,
Right.
like,
And there
and that,
was all the rumors surrounding Kyler Murray.
yeah, right, with Kyler too. Like it's just a shit show over there.
Yeah. So I think we could. I don't think they're going to really be too much of a threat. They're always a threat to play hard, but I don't think they're a threat to win the division.
Yeah,
And
and in,
Seattle's just
in right,
Seattle.
Seattle, yep, just hit reset on
Yeah.
everything. So they're done for a minute.
So it's still a difficult division, but it's not the division it was the past few years.
Yeah, definitely, dude. And all it takes is a couple injuries to the Rams, and that's all you guys. So
Matt
who knows?
Stafford gets injured, then that team's pretty much shot.
That's it, right? Yeah.
You're back to Goff.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. Well, that's good stuff. So you and your brother and your dad back in the day. So, what are you doing for? We were talking about this before we got recording, and this is, anyone that's familiar with the show, we bounce back and forth a little bit here. So, what are you doing for a living these days?
So I work at a Toyota dealership. I'm the assistant parts manager. So I've been selling parts there for 14 years now. I just had my 14-year anniversary. Um,
Nice.
so it's pretty much just that. I was doing real estate for about a year until I realized I absolutely hated the business. Drove me nuts. The people in it are pretty vicious. The market's terrible. So I said, you know what? Can't do it. Don't call me at home. I want to be with my family.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. South Park just did an episode about real estate where Cartman became a realtor, and it's yeah. I mean, it was funny because yeah, the people all seem pretty fake.
Yeah, 100%. It's like so I had one listing that I had three separate offers on from three different people, and then I'd ask for the deposit so he can get everything going and get everything set, and then I'd get ghosted. It's like, how do you put an offer in a house and then ghost the person? So come to find out, what people are doing in Connecticut is they'll look at like four different houses and they'll put an offer in on every single one. So it kind of like pull it off the market real quick so nobody else looks at it. But then they choose which one they want of the four. They just put an offer in on it, and then they don't say anything about it.
Oh wow! So you're just
So
sitting there waiting, and you have no
right.
idea. Oh my
So here I
god!
am. I'm sitting here. I got 5 grand sitting on the table waiting to go into my pocket, and nothing happens. Three separate times.
Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
I could never do that.
yeah,
Like,
that was the tipping point for me. Once the last time that happened, I was like, all right, I'm pulling the listing because the woman I was talking with anyway, she's like, I don't want to do anything forward with it now because it's been on the market for a couple months now, and then we're going through all this. And like, I'm gonna pull the listing, and I'm reluctant to say, but I'm giving this up.
yeah.
I
Well,
told the I
at
told
least
the
you tr-
broker, and I was like, I'm done.
well, dude, at least you tried it, right? Like
Right.
you gave it a shot.
And I made
That's
some sales, and some of the sales. I mean, the worst part about it is I was good at it. It just I hated it.
yeah. Well, it's dude. I mean, work is a pretty big chunk of your life. If you fucking hate it, like that's a problem.
Right. And my job now, I'm working 7 to 3, so I get out pretty early, go pick up my kid at daycare, and we hang out for the rest of the day. Plus, my job's not so I'm not busy all of the time, so I have some downtime. Look over some of my fantasy football stuff, get some writing done.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Most of your waiver claims are like in the middle of the day, in all of our leagues.
Either that or 5:30 in the morning when I wake up.
Yeah, yeah, but no, that's good, man. It's work to live, not live to work, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So you've got some colorful friends. So Snacks and Mayhem and all
Mhm.
those dudes. I gotta assume that you have a good story from college or high school that you can tell here.
Oh man.
I don't give a shit if it's rated R. I mean,
I know. I'm
this is
trying to
the
think
place
of.
to do that.
So with Rob Mayhem, I only knew him for well, pretty much since I started playing IDP. So I met him at my job.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, we met through there, and it was just like we hit it off like that. And we started talking football and everything, and it was like, all right. And he's the one that got me into IDP. He's like, I'm starting a league, and it has defensive players. I was like, all right, I'm in. I'm definitely in. And so then I got my buddy, then I got Snacks in, I got my brother, and we've been in that league ever since. That was 12 years ago. So I don't have many great stories with Rob. Snacks, I have too many. Holy shit! I got to try to think of one of my favorite ones here. Oh, all right. So you've been you're originally like you're from Connecticut, right? Like
Oh
for
yeah,
all right. So you know
yeah,
spring weekend in Yukon.
sure do.
So when we were in the age of college, spring weekend was intense in Yukon. Like it was just party central, dude. So there was this one of the nights was X lot. So it's literally just X lot in Yukon, and it was just a sea of people in a lot. And there was one fraternity house that was there. So here we are, we're all walking through, we're smoking, we're drinking, and we're just like having a great time. And at that point, I think we were only like 16, 17 years old. We were going through all these college parties.
Yeah.
And we go into the fraternity house, and it's just like wall to wall people. We're shoulder to shoulder. And Snacks is sitting in the corner behind us, and he's like, I need you guys to form a wall. We're like, what do you mean, man? He's like, you guys got to form a wall in front of me because I am either going to piss my pants or I'm going to piss on this kid's floor. So I'm going to piss on this kid's floor, and I need you to form a wall so nobody can see.
Oh my
So
god.
here we are. We're sitting there. We're just like, all right, shit. So we're shoulder to shoulder, and he just starts pissing right in the corner of the house. And I was just like, I got to go. I was like, you got to hurry up because we're just walking right out of here because I can't deal with this.
Oh my, you guys would have gotten fucking
Oh
killed.
my gosh, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you're gonna get me murdered. So that night, we uh we go out back into Exelon, and next thing I know, everybody's gone. I was like, fuck did everybody go? I'm by myself, and all of a sudden my eyes start just burning. So to clear the crowd, the cops would go to the end of the lot and just start pepper spraying.
Oh
So I
wow.
look back and here they're coming. I'm like, oh God, I gotta go. So I leave the lot and we parked at E.O. Smith High School. So
Yeah.
I'm walking back through campus and I'm coming across Gamble. And one of my friend's older brothers, he was a walk on for the basketball team back then. So he's sitting there right up on the ledge in front of Gamble. And who's he sitting with is Emeka Okafor.
No.
Yeah, so I knew Emeka Okafor from when I worked at Subway in the student union because he used to come in. We'd hook him up with free Subway, so we'd come in. And I have like 4 Subway napkins signed by Emeka Okafor. It was freaking awesome. But so I sit down next to him. Here I am. I'm this like 17-year-old trash, and I'm just like, "What's up, guys?" And they're both sober. They're like, "What's going on, man? You doing all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody left me, so I just got to go find a way to get back home." So like, our friend's house, Snack's house, is actually where we were at. He lived probably 2.5, 3 miles off of campus. So I was just like, so I think I'm just going for a walk. I was like, shit. They're like, well, good luck, man. If you can't find anybody, just you can come back here and hang out with us for a night. We'll find you a way home. I was like, yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate that.
Oh,
So,
that's awesome,
I
man.
mean, it was wicked cool. Like, Emeka Okafor was one of the nicest guys in the world. It was freaking awesome. I used to love, and Diana Taurasi, she's
Yeah.
a true thug. She scared the crap out of me. She used
Oh,
to come in. She used to come in the student union too and get Subway, and it was like, yeah, she's a straight gangster. I don't know. She
she
had this
looks
demeanor about her.
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks super scary.
But so I make it back to E.O. Smith and the cars are gone. I'm like, oh, shit. So I go across the street to store 24. It's a little convenience store. I was just going to grab some food. So now I've got the munchies. And I walk in and the place is just freaking packed wall to wall with people. Like the lines going around the corner. I'm like, I got a honey bun and a freaking lemon lime Gatorade. And I'm just like, what the shit? I'm not gonna sit in this line. So here I do. I just walked right up the door with it.
Oh man.
I was just like, whatever. Like, I'm not the only person doing this. People are just walking out. So I walk out. As I walk out, my friend Jimbo goes walking right in front of me. I'm like, Jimbo. And he's like, dude, where'd everybody go? I was like, I think they're gone. He's like, oh, shit. So he lived with snacks at the time. So we start walking back towards his house. As we're walking back down the street, here comes our friend flying up in his little Volkswagen, and he stops the car. He's like, guys, get in the car. We're like, oh, shit. So we get in, we're like, where'd you guys go? We're like, we've been sitting at the house for like 20 minutes and we just realized you were gone.
Oh, they forgot you guys?
They totally took off without us. And we were like, oh shit, Joe and Jimbo are still up there. One
Oh.
person, they forgot both of us.
Oh man.
So
That
that was a
dude
good story. That's a good
dude,
one.
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's just chaos
Mm-hmm.
at those things. Like
Oh
that
man,
yeah.
it was
It
intense. And working, when I was working at Store 24, I used to work at the Subway at Store 24 after the Student Union one closed down. And they were open till 4 o'clock in spring weekend. And it was,
whoa.
I had to work one of the nights, that Friday night, and it was just drunk kid after drunk. Hey man, what can I get for free? So of course I said, all right, I'm gonna make you this, this, and this, and this, and this is the most nastiest shit possible. I said, if you eat this, you can have it for free, but you have to hold it down.
Oh, did anyone yak in the store ever?
Nobody puked. It was amazing. One
Wow.
person was singing Billy Joel to a woman.
Oh,
It's pretty
Jesus
amazing. It was just
Christ,
like,
dude.
holy hell, this is amazing.
Yeah, spring weekend slash any weekend at UConn is just a dumpster fire shit show. Yeah.
It's gotten a lot better. Like I've
Really?
actually met a lot of the kids now, been living right off the campus now, and like our neighbors are rotating college students because it's a rental, and they've all actually been quite well. So it was
Hmm.
when we first bought this house 4 years ago. The first neighbors we had, they're having this party, and our friend's up from Pennsylvania, and she's got her kid with her, and he was, I think at the time he might have been a year old.
Oh.
And so, I mean, we were cool. We're like, whatever, have your party. It's fine. We don't care. Obviously, we used to party, but it's like 10 o'clock and their base, like we're about an acre away and their base is like thudding in our house. So my wife
Jesus.
looks at me and she's like, all right, let's do this. So this was right before I stopped drinking. So here I've had a couple beers now. So I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's go. So we go, and I ring the doorbell, and it doesn't work. So instead of knocking on the door, I just walked right in. I was just like looking around. There's this kid sitting there. He's hammered, eating deli cheese
Oh,
right from the
Jesus.
package, and he's just looking at me, and he's like, "Who are you?" I was like, "I'm your neighbor. Do you think you could turn down the music?" And he's like, and he's just staring at me. I'm like, "Cool. Can I just turn it down?" And this kid comes around the corner. And he's like, "Oh, hey, who are you guys?" We're like, "We're your neighbors. We got a kid sleeping next door. Do you think you can just turn the music down?" And he's like, "Oh shit!" So he runs and he turns it down, and he's like, "Hey man, sorry about that. I don't mean, don't call the cops." I'm like, "Well, obviously we're not because we're here."
Yeah.
Like, just, I don't care if you party all you want. Just don't have the music so loud because I can hear it at my house. Like I can't really hear you guys, but your music's just too loud. Just once it comes like 10 o'clock, just turn it down. So he was nice enough. He gave me his cell phone number. He said, "Hey, if we're ever too loud, just send me a text and I'll turn it down." There was one other time, and I sent him a text, and it was instantly radio down. I was like, "Man, thanks, kids."
That's the way, man. That's because now they're not going to get the cops coming at them and all
Right.
that. Like, yeah, that is the way to do it.
And
That's
then the next morning, my wife made them a berry cobbler, and I walked it over to him. I knocked on the door. It's like noon, and they're sitting there hungover as hell. And I'm like, "Here you go, guys." And they're like, "What's this for?" I was like, "Because you turned down your music." And I was like, "You turn down your music, you get your hangover medicine." They're like, "Oh, thanks, dude. Thank you so much." So they took it, and we were good from there.
Oh man, that brings back good memories. That's good
Hmm.
stuff. Do you remember? Is Deepy Dough still there?
Oh yeah, and they deliver now too.
Oh no way. That
Yeah,
that
they
place.
actually deliver to my house.
Oh, that place is good. So, no one knows what the fuck we're talking about. Deepy Dough is like custom calzones. They like build your own calzone and they deliver it. It's incredible.
They
Yeah.
actually have Ben and Jerry's ice cream there now too,
Ooh.
which they also deliver.
Yeah, that's a good call on their part.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had them deliver just ice cream one night, and they got to the house and like, all right, so just for future reference, you can't just order ice cream for delivery.
Oh, that's good shit.
Like, all right, good to know. Good to know.
Nice, man. So, all right. So, I mean, you've grown up a little bit since then. So what do you? I still haven't figured out a good way to ask this question yet. So, what do you want to say about your family and your pets?
Let's see. I have five pets, all insane. I have three cats. One's name's Kitten, just because we kind of got lazy with it. And then we have two actual kittens. They're only, let's see, they were born in November, so what's that? 5, 6, 7 months. And their names are Comet and Blitzen because we gave them to our daughter for Christmas. Then we have two dogs. One's about 8 years old. Her name's Tessa. She's a pit bull mix. And then we have another one, Hooch, who's probably 5 years old. He's also a pit bull mix. Both rescues. Um, they're all insane in their own freaking way. Absolutely nuts. But my daughter now just turned 2 in March, and she's really like getting. She's more vocal. She knows she calls all the animals by their names, and the dogs are starting to warm up to her a lot more now. So like Tessa, she's a big 80 pounder. She crawls up on the couch with her, and she'll like lean into her, and my daughter like grabs her in a big bear hug, and it's like, all right, that's pretty freaking cool.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's nice when they get old enough to be able to appreciate that and like build a relationship with them.
yeah. So then, and then me and my wife. So me and my wife, we were friends. Oh shit, probably like 13, 14 years before we even started dating. And now we've been together for about 9 years, and we're going on our seventh year of marriage. It's freaking great.
That's awesome,
It was
man.
kind of nice. We didn't really have to like get to know each other through that stage for dating because we already knew exactly who the hell we were. We've been hanging out for years, so it worked. It was just one of those things where like the time was right. I was like, holy crap, what have we been doing?
That's awesome, man. Yeah, no, I mean, all your, all the pictures of your family and, everything you've said about your family and your daughter, like, sounds like you guys have a really good life.
Yeah, it is. It is quite nice. I mean, the house we have like a full acre behind us of yard, fenced in yard, so the kid and dog, we don't have to worry about anybody getting in or out. Uh, it's an old 1920s colonial. Or it's a cape technically, but it's definitely New England style old home. It kept up well. My brother actually, cool story with my brother. So him and his wife have been trying to get pregnant for a few years now,
Yeah.
and they haven't been having any luck, so they decided to sign up for the whole adoption process. And they just got a call recently. A child was born premature, 30 weeks old, 1 pound 9 ounce,
Oh my God.
and the mother couldn't keep it. Like she couldn't, so she signed off on it for adoption. And nobody knew the father, so my brother and his wife got the call. So now they have this kid who's now 4 pounds, and he's possibly coming home within the next week or two to be their child.
Wow, man. That's wild. I'm glad he got the call.
Yeah, yeah. So they were excited. They get to help the kid out. I mean, give it a good family. So it was like best case scenario for them because the whole adoption process gets kind of crazy because if it's somebody that's a little older, like the family can still come in and choose to take the child. It's almost like you foster for a while until adoption's like final. So it's kind of like intense. But this at this point, it's like the baby's already been given up, and it's like it's literally it's their kid now. So that's cool as hell.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Hey, okay, so yeah, so besides writing for IDP guys, writing, stories, you're an actual author now. What other hobbies do you get into, when you're not playing fantasy football or hanging out with the family?
I like to do a lot of stonework actually. Stone walkways, stone walls, field stone. My father used to work at a quarry, and he used to split stone. And my grandfather actually was like the manager of the quarry. And this is back when I was like probably like 5 or 6. They'd come home with dump trucks load of just beautifully cut stone that was,
Ooh,
it was extra stone from the quarry, they'd say. And it's literally stacked up behind my dad's shed and slewed throughout my grandfather's property. So it's literally thousands of dollars worth of stone that you'd spend that we just kind of have now. And I've been kind of working with my father used to show me when I was little. He's because my dad after that he started a business building stone walls, and it was freaking phenomenal. It was so awesome to watch, like a finished product, nice level. And so I started messing around with it at this house. So now I took some stone from the woods, just straight field stone, and there was a stone walkway leading up to my house. So I brought it back around this side of the house, down to the entryway into the driveway. We have this bump out like a three season porch that was just wide open underneath that my dogs kept chasing shit underneath. So I decided to take more stone that I found and just built up the wall leading right up underneath it. So it's now surrounded like stone underneath. So it's almost just like a pillar of stone underneath the three season porch. So I just kind of took some of the family traits and just kept it going.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. That sounds interesting. Like, you just learned from watching him, or like, how'd you figure
Yeah,
that out?
just learn from watching my father. He always told me it was like building a puzzle to make find the way things work. And he showed me on a lot of the quarry stone. He's like, if you look, you can find the veins of the stone. If you want to split one and you want to find one to make it work, you can follow the stone and you can see how you can chisel and you can edge and create. I was like, so he gave me a bunch of his old chisels, a bunch of his splitting hammers and everything, and his little 5 pound sledge, which he used to swing a freaking 20-pound sledge one arm. I was like, you're insane. But yeah, but it's just like it was awesome for him to say like, yeah, hit it here, here, and here. Stone won't bust, but you'll have this small chunk just fall off, and you can slide this right in here. It's like that's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, how the hell do you figure that out? Like, what?
Splitting stone for a living, man. He's like, yeah, you see this? Watch this. You hit right here, boom, and like a chunk would just fall off. He's like, that's freaking cool.
That's wild, man.
Yeah,
Those old school dudes, they know what's up.
yeah. You should see his hands now. He has no knuckles.
Oh, Jesus
There's gone
Christ.
arthritis and just years and years of just bashing his knuckles and rocks at the quarry.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
he can still
That's
use his hands, but he just his knuckles are disappeared.
oh, that's wild, man. That's wild. Hey, so speaking of the old school, so what round about what year did you get into IDP? Like, do you remember what year that was?
I think it was like 2012 actually, because it was Luke Kuechly's
Okay,
rookie year.
gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, who are some of your favorite IDPs from those first couple seasons?
Luke Kuechly. So it was great. So my last three picks in that draft were Luke Kuechly. Well, it was Luke Kuechly, then J.J. Watt, and then Levante David. So Kuechly and
Oh
David were
wow.
both rookies, and J.J. Watt was going into his second year, and he was only a part-time player as a rookie. But I remember with J.J. Watt, I watched him in the playoffs his rookie year, and he had this interception at the line of scrimmage that just blew my mind. It was like the pass just coming up, he just like reached one arm up and grabbed it, and I was like, the guy's freaking good. So I just decided to take a flyer on him as one of my DNs. And because in that league, it's always been you have to play defensive tackles, corners, DNs, safeties, and linebackers. And it's just changed slightly throughout, but you've always had to have a D tackle, two DNs, and you're playing corners. So I love the fact that you write up on corners because I've been playing with him for years too. But yeah, so JJ Watt, and then I drafted him, and then it was that next year he had like 20 and a half sacks for
Oh
me.
my God.
It was just so I had he had 20 and a half sacks, and then Keekly had 169 tackles, and I think Levante David had like 140. It was like, and I
Oh.
think I ended up having holy shit, he was a Niner, the dude that went off the deep end, the outside linebacker. Alden Smith. I had Alden Smith on that
Oh,
team too, and he had like 20 sacks that season too. It was like, holy shit. Yeah, I
Jesus.
won that league. And I had Harrison Smith too.
Oh yeah, yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty good
It
right
was
there.
fantastic. Like my offense was trash, but my IDP was so good that it I went 8-6, just snuck into the playoffs, and then my offense had a good playoff run, and my IDP just crushed, and I just swept right through the playoffs. It was fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's what's good. There's many great things about IDP, but that's part of it too, is they can carry you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
If you notice that you're just missing out on everybody on offenses, might as well just start stacking on IDP.
absolutely, man. Okay, that's good shit. So what if you had to make a Mount Rushmore? Who would so you get four guys on Mount
It was
Rushmore.
those four right there: Harrison Smith,
Oh,
Luke
okay.
Kuechly, J.J. Watt, and Levante David. Mainly because of that, they made me love IDP.
That's a good Mount Rushmore. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and Harrison Smith's still doing it to this day, man,
It's
at
insane,
a high
right?
level.
Yep. Yeah, and every time we
Big-headed.
try and shovel dirt on him, last year happens. He comes back with this
Mhm.
crazy season, and he missed 2 games.
Yeah, and he had what 5 interceptions.
Yeah,
And you
unreal.
watch with Sign being there, his role is going to adjust a little bit. I think he's going to play a little more deep, and he's just going to make quarterbacks live in fear. It's just going to be a nightmare throwing at Harrison Smith. if he plays a little more deep and not up front more, it's just gonna be terrible for quarterbacks. We're gonna have another 5 interception season.
Yeah, man, he's been great for a long time. Yeah. All right, that's a solid Mount Rushmore. And I mean, so we know how you got into the writing ranking. So was it Snacks or Mayhem that asked you to
Snacks.
to? It was Snacks.
So
Okay.
Snacks, because of the league with Mayhem, he would always ask me for advice, and he's like, "Hey, why don't you just do some of the shit?" He's like, "You're always picking up the right guys." I was like, "All right." And I think the first thing I ever put out on Twitter was it was Justin Reed's rookie year. I said he started off a little slow, but it was like his third game. He started seeing more playing time, and I just put a tweet out there. I was like, "This is a guy you should keep your eyes on." And then as a rookie, he ended up, I think, with 100 tackles. So that actually held pretty true. I was like, but it was shortly after that Nate reached out to me, and I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to."
Yeah, man. And yeah, those were the early days. I mean, it was you, me, Gary Tipster.
Yeah,
Who else
Sean.
wrote? Sean.
Oh, well, Sean didn't really write too much then, though.
Yeah.
For
There.
writing, holy crap, what's his name? He had the glasses. He was with us for a little while.
Oh, IDP dude. What?
No, it was even before IDP, dude. Um, he left for, I think, the DLF. Oh, why am I blanking on his name?
Yeah.
S- He changed his name too just recently. He's like a some sort of scientist.
Oh, Stompy.
Yes, yes, Stompy. Thank you.
That's right. Yeah.
He was with us.
Yeah, there were only like four of us, so we didn't carried the whole site.
Yeah, yeah. It was me, Stompy, and Gary were actually supposed to have a pod, and then they both left, and I was like, "Hey guys," like, "All
That's
right,
uh,
whatever."
that's right, man. Yeah. Well,
But it was
it
good.
worked
Yeah.
out.
Now it's like I think I've got 220 articles now.
Whew.
Yeah, it's freaking great.
Have you checked your author stats lately? What are you at for views?
Oh man, it was a lot. I'll bring it up real quick as we keep talking, but it was a lot. My last I did a just the beginning of this off season, it was a top 10 IDP rookies pre-draft, and it got so many freaking views. It blew my mind. Like even just clicking the link from Twitter, it was at like 6,500 views.
Jesus Christ.
Let's see. Yeah, it's been great, man. I've enjoyed the hell out of it.
It's
I
weird how it changes, right? Because it's like when you first start, it's like, oh, 13 people clicked this. This is great.
right. And then it's like, all right, a couple thousand. Holy crap! I
Yeah.
I, I want to get more in depth in certain articles. I feel like sometimes the in season stuff kind of drags me. I kind of got dragged down last year towards the end of in season stuff, like trying to do the same article over and over every week. It was just like, I need to add some variety.
Yeah, well, that's why a lot of people don't make it through the season because you have to do it it
Right.
doesn't matter. You got to do it every week, whatever it is you committed to. Like you got to do it, and that can be hard. Yeah.
And last year, I almost stopped doing this completely. I actually said I was going to stop doing this completely, and I took a break. I think it was from week 11 on, and I just kind of took a break from it all, and it ended up being perfect for me. It just let me clear my head, and I've been good since, man. I've been actually writing some of my best stuff.
Hey, whatever it takes, man. Whatever you need.
All right,
Yeah.
so total views 480,644.
Jesus, that's up there. I checked. I was at 324,000 when I looked today. So yeah, you're crushing it. Hey, we're almost at a million combined. I remember
I
when
know.
that was our thing. We were like, yeah, we got a 500,000 combined. Like we're getting close to a million.
Jeez, we'll hit it soon. We'll hit it soon enough.
Fucking crazy.
Fucking listening to us.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just a couple of assholes.
They'll listen to this and be like, oh, wait, shit, that's who we've been fucking reading from?
Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. That's good stuff. And I know you got a few, but who are some of your biggest sleepers this year?
Um, as Macri would call him, Corey Shittleton.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's actually my sleeper this year. I mean, it wasn't too far ago, too long ago. He was the actual LB1. Was it
Right.
2019?
Yeah, and the Rams, he was up there,
Yeah.
man. He was
So I mean,
excellent.
he's going into a situation. I mean, Shaq Thompson, everybody's been has waited for 4 years now for him to actually make that leap. And I mean, he's a good linebacker, but he hasn't really like become the linebacker everybody was hoping for. So I don't know. Littleton could really go in there, and I could easily see 110, 120 tackles from Littleton this year.
Yeah.
I think Thompson should specialize in probably blitzing with him more because he was fantastic at that when Kuechly was around. Just let Littleton kind of play run defense. I know his coverage has just kind of shit the bed over the past few years, and his tackling as well. But I mean, he's better than any other linebacker they've had for the past few years now, outside of Shaq Thompson. So he's just kind of a nice. He could easily line up as like an LB2 at weekly for you. I think.
Nice. Okay, I haven't heard that one yet. That's a good one. Yeah.
Nicholas Morrow,
Okay.
because he just signed with the Bears.
Yep.
So you have Danny Trevathan's gone. Kwiatkowski left last year. Who else is going to run next to Roquan Smith? And Morrow looked great actually his last year in Las Vegas before he
Yep.
got injured. So they didn't really do anything else to add to that linebacker room. So I think it's going to be Morrow and Roquan Smith. And Trevathan always had a productive role next to Roquan. So
Yeah, that's a very productive role. Yeah. Yep.
and one last one, kind of a flyer on this one is Akeem Davis Gaither for linebacker for Cincy. So I mean, they didn't add to their LB room either, and they still have Logan Wilson, and he's obviously going to be the constant. But other than that, they kind of rotated a bit. I mean, early in the season, Gaither was a sub package player. Jermaine Pratt was pretty much your two down guy. But I don't think they like Pratt all that much because he really hasn't shown that much. I mean, they were hoping for him to be this guy who could just line up every down, and then they brought in Wilson because Pratt didn't do it, and now Wilson has shown that he can do it, and Pratt still can't do it even with another good linebacker next to him. So I wouldn't be surprised if Gaither makes another step because he was very versatile in college. If he took the step in the offseason, maybe you see him getting a couple extra snaps on early downs, and if he shows well, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he takes Pratt's job in the early downs too.
Yeah. No, that'd be good, man. There definitely is a role there. Yeah.
So that's my deep sleeper.
Okay, I like that. That sounds good. So while we're doing predictions, who you got at your ones this year? How about inside and outside linebacker?
Inside linebackers, Darius Leonard. I love Darius Leonard. If he can just play a full 17 game season, I don't say he has to be the LB1, but his tackling matched with his playmaking is just off the charts in comparison to most others. So I think it has to be Leonard for me. Outside linebacker, I think I have to stick with TJ Watt for now. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he's as an outside linebacker, there's not many that can match. I mean, there's edge defenders, but not outside linebackers. He's got to be the most productive outside linebacker in football right now.
Yep. No, I'm with you. Unfortunately,
I
but
know.
yeah. What about defensive end? I mean, everyone says Watt. That's the one answer I've
I know.
gotten. Watt across the board, but that's
I mean,
okay.
it's not many people, not many teams play a 3-4 base now with actual outside linebackers. So it's like, all right, most of the good edge defenders are playing in a 4-3 or at least playing as a defensive end. So what am I going to say? Leonard Floyd?
Yeah. Right. Right.
Von Miller? Maybe? Who knows?
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So if you want to go, keep going across the line.
Yeah. 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 Who you got?
All
Defensive
right.
end.
Defensive end, I'm going with my boy Nick Bosa. So he
Ooh.
got some help across that line now, and they're going to be versatile moving up. So it's not going to be all focus on Bosa. So I think it's going to free him up a little more. So I think he can make that push to the DE1.
Dude, he was right there last year, man. Like
He's
hell of
such
a
an
season.
animal,
Yeah.
dude. Ever since the playoff run when they lost the Super Bowl, like that playoff run, he was unbelievable. Like he was, if you watch that Super Bowl, he was in Mahomes' face all game.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge Bosa fan. Obviously, being a Niners guy, but defensive tackle, I'm sticking with Aaron Donald still.
Yeah, I mean if he's playing, it's him, right?
Right,
Like
it's got to be. I
yeah.
don't see. I mean, there's a couple other guys who are good. I thought about saying Jeffrey Simmons, but
Mm,
if Aaron Donald's playing, it's got to be Aaron Donald.
yeah. Yeah, definitely. What about safety and corner?
Safety, I'm gonna I wanted to say Derwin James because I've been saying Derwin James for like 3 years now, but I think I'm actually going to go to Jeremy Chin because he is slow as he started last year. I know he had a really, really slow start last year. He came on really strong towards the fantasy playoffs, and he showed the player that he's capable of being. And his rookie season was phenomenal. So I think they got a little bit of help on defense, but they're still going to see the field a lot because they don't have a quarterback. So Chin's going to be on the field a lot. He's going to have to clean up after Littleton and Shaq Thompson. I still think he's going to have an incredibly productive role. So Chin's going to be my safety one. And
Nice, nice.
CB1, I'm sticking with my man Kenny Moore, buddy. I love me
Yeah,
some Kenny Moore.
yeah.
I
That's
know the D coordinator's gone, but I mean, how could you not keep using him in that role? He's so productive.
I know it's insane, man. It's so hard to find like consistent productive corners season to season, and Kenny Moore's been doing it for so long. It's
Oh my
like
gosh.
it's
There
mind
was it
blowing.
was I think it was he had a playoff run where he had like 2.5 sacks in 3 games, and I was like, that's a pretty versatile guy there. I think I'm gonna keep my eyes on him. I think I drafted him late the next year, and it was just like, all right, Kenny Moore's a freaking beast. It's like, and last year I think I actually had him ranked as my 12th overall defensive back, and people were like, why do you have a corner so high? I was like, because it's fucking Kenny Moore, man. And he ended up being like DB9 or something like that, DB8.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, no, season after season, man. Yeah, no, he's great. And yeah, and that's what I love about a lot of the leagues we're in is like we have to look at stuff like that. We have to try and figure out who the corners are going to be because that's such an X factor, right? Most people
Oh
just
yeah.
kind of plug someone in with like a name they've heard of before, just write it out and it's like, no, if you do that right, you could turn an entire matchup around.
Oh yeah, 100%. And that's why it's fun playing in the leagues where it's like 11 IDP and you have four defensive backs in a 14, 16 team league. It's like, all right, you're digging deep, so you need to know the rosters. You need to start looking at who's getting targeted because you need to take advantage of matchups.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Who I mean, it's obviously way stupid early, but who do you think's going to the Super Bowl this year?
Uh so I think the AFC West is just going to beat the shit out of themselves. So I'm going to go with Bills. I think the Bills are going to be the Super Bowl winner. I mean, they didn't lose anything. They've just made some solid additions to the team. So I think I got to go with the Bills.
Dude, I think so too. They're due, man. They
Yeah.
they are due. KC got weaker. Like
Right.
I don't know. It feels like their year. Who do you think's playing them?
That's fucking hard, man.
That's the hard one, right?
I mean, looking at the NFC, I probably want to say the Rams again. But I mean, who knows with the Packers? I mean, if they can get over their playoff woes, they have a good team.
Yeah,
But we'll see how that goes without Devontae Adams.
I know. That's such a huge kick in the nuts for them. Like I know Kyle was ready to off himself after that. Like
I know. Poor Kyle. Between draft woes for the Packers and freaking losing Devonte Adams is like we should get a watch on Kyle for a while. I don't know. Make sure he's all right. But other than that, I mean, honestly, the Eagles had a very productive offseason.
Dude, and they keep making moves. Fucking
Yeah,
James Bradbury the other day. No one except
yeah,
Eagles Twitter is talking about that,
I
but that
know.
is a
It's huge.
huge
It's
move.
huge. It's
Yeah.
huge. And I mean, they got AJ Brown
Yep.
for next to nothing. They still have, so well, they have AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, and who else is in that receiving group? You have Dallas Goddard for
Oh,
their
what's his face? The TCU guy.
oh
The fuck is his name?
little guy.
Yeah. I
Kind of
can't.
forgot about him because
Oh,
he
Ragor.
yes. I mean you have him as a wide receiver three, just field stretcher, and holy shit, that could be his game. Like just do this, man. Just go. Just go
Yeah.
route every time. This is where you can finally be productive. But I mean, they have a good running game. They have Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts isn't a bad quarterback. He's not fantastic throwing the ball, but he has fantastic targets now. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to be easy for him to up his completion percentage. Obviously, he's got legs. the running game's still strong. I mean, they still have Miles Sanders. They signed Kennedy Brooks as a unsigned free or undrafted free agent, and Kennedy Brooks had a productive college career. So I mean, they just keep bringing in guys who can run the ball. So
Y-
I think the Eagles could be a sneaky team to watch in the NFC. Of course, you
y-
get Tampa Bay, but
Right, right. Yeah. I mean, there's the obvious ones, but yeah, the Eagles are the ones that feel like keep making moves.
Mhm.
So yeah, I thought Dallas might have, been like the favorite for the division before this offseason, and now minus Cooper plus all the shit for the Eagles, like I'm not so sure about that anymore.
I know it's crazy. And I want to say the Niners too, but there's just so too many questions on the offense right now, so I can't say them as much as I want to.
Yeah, that's all right, man. We'll see. Yeah, however it goes, we'll see what happens. We'll enjoy
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah, definitely enjoy it.
All right. Well, let's shift gears and get into some non-football stuff. So you're in the MCU chat, the famous MCU chat on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, some your favorite movies and favorite TV shows. What are you watching?
All right. Favorite movies? I got to go even before I got into the MCU. It's Dazed and Confused because it literally reminds me of when we were in high school. And The Big Lebowski. The Big Lebowski has been a favorite movie of mine for years now. Like the character makeup in that movie is just so phenomenal. Like John Goodman's character kills me, absolutely kills me. But those
and
two movies I can watch and have watched on a yearly basis, but it's just been I can't even count how many times.
yeah, true classics. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What about TV? What are you watching for TV?
Um, Nate's probably talked to you about this Letterkenny.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Letterkenny kills me. I crack up every time I watch that. You ever watch New Girl?
No. No. What is
So New
that?
Girl, it's a sitcom about four friends that live together, three guys and one girl. It's Zoe Deschanel.
Oh, okay.
Dude, you have to watch it. It's absolutely hilarious. It reminded me of when me and my wife first started dating, and it was me, her, my brother, and our friend who we rented a room to down in our basement. We're all living together. I was like, God, this was our fucking life. But it's absolutely hilarious. Definitely got to watch it.
Nice, nice. I'll check that out. And I know you're current with all the Marvel stuff. We always talk that. So
Oh yeah.
watching those. Yeah. What's
Oh yeah.
what's your daughter watching? You watching any Peppa Pig or anything?
Yeah, actually, she just started watching Peppa Pig. Bluey, Bluey's the one, man. Bluey has so much adult humor in it too. At the same time, and you're just like, it's fucking great. But honestly, what I've dug. So this was cool. What my daughter did. So I started. I have a record player with a bunch of old classic rock, and I was throwing on records, and she'll go dance, and she does this. So the other day, she walks up to it and she grabs the arm for the record player and she looks at me and she goes, "Dance?" I was like, "Go ahead." She swings the arm over and drops it on the record and starts playing a song. I was just like, it's
Wow.
like that a girl. Get the
That
classics. She runs over to the cabinet where I got the records and she'll flip it open. She'll bring them out and she'll say it's a book and she'll run up to it. But so that was pretty cool. But what does she watch mostly? It's mostly Bluey. She watches Elmo. She loves Elmo.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she digs Elmo.
Got to get the
Uh,
Elmo in. Yeah.
she loves watching videos of cows and horses. She loves animals, man. So listen to this, right? So my dogs, like critters and shit like that, like little things, they'll kill. My dog Hooch, he killed a rabbit in our yard once. Felt
Oh.
terrible about it, but
Yep.
we're just in the yard the other day, and a garter snake slithers across in front of him. He freaking grabs this thing and shook it so hard, it literally shredded across the middle, and its guts went flying past me and my wife, and we were like, "Oh
Whoa.
shit!" So this is why they say don't get bit by a pit bull because that's the strength they have. He literally just shook it, and it was like that thick, and the thing just went across, and I
Oh.
was like, "Oh." So here's my daughter. She's like, "Snake?" I was like, "Don't touch that snake."
Oh, Jesus
So I
Christ.
got this snake. I'm holding it on a stick, one half. I'm trying to throw it over the fence, and she's like, "Can I pet it?" I was like, "No, no, no. You don't want to pet that thing.
Oh.
No, 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 no." But she wants to pet anything. She loves snakes, bees. She's like, bee, can I pet the bee? I was like, no,
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 oh my
you
god.
don't want to pet the bee. But
That's cute and terrifying.
yes, exactly. But yeah, she'll walk up to cows and she'll just be like, she wants to hug the cow. She's like, hug. The cow will lick her face, and she's just like, "Hee." It's like, holy shit.
To
Like,
be
that's my kid.
Yeah, hey, she doesn't it's all good, right? Like she
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
know that the bad shit's out there yet.
exactly. She's loving her farm animals and shit. She played me so bad the other day, man. So we go up in Yukon. They have Horse Barn Hill. It's where they have all the animals and everything, right? So you can park down there and go visit the cows and everything. But there's a side road you can take. It's a dirt road that'll bring you up over the hill and down to the other side, and you can park right there at the Yukon Dairy Bar. So we brought her up there, and we got ice cream on a Saturday. So Sunday we brought her up to see the cows, and we're going to park, and she's like, "Oh no, let's go up the road." And I thought she wanted to see the cows up the road. So we get up the road, park next to where the cows are, and we get out of the car, and she just turns and starts walking straight for the dairy bar, and she's like, "Ice cream?" I was like, "Oh."
She got you guys. She
Oh,
remembered.
she played me so bad. I was like, "All right, all right, you're two. This is good. I see
It's
where this
not
is going."
it's not a good sign,
No, I know. I
Joey.
know. My wife's like, she's like, "You need to tighten up, honey."
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good stuff, man.
Yeah.
So, what would you do if you did hit it big? If you hit like the lotto or something, would you quit and just spend all your time with your family, or that? Because you
I
know,
probably would.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I
It
probably would.
sounds
I
like
have
that's what
so
you
much
do.
fun
Yeah,
with these people. I love working out in our yard and like making the house look good and whatnot. And just I would just have so much fun. I got the truck. I got the 71 pickup. I just hang out and work on that thing. Which I walked by the other day with the hood open. She looked in there. She's freaking too. She goes, "Ooh, engine, vroom vroom." I was like, "Oh God, you are definitely my kid, man." But yeah, I would. I definitely would.
yeah, no, I could see that. There's some people on here. They're like, I'd go crazy. It'd be too much time. Like, blah 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 blah. Like, nah, you and Josh, I think would spend just a ton of time with the family and
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I can do side projects to take my mind off of things. Just don't even worry about it. So yeah, spend all my time home with my family.
nice, dude, nice. So, if you could time travel and see something in history, what would it be?
Woodstock,
Ooh, that's a great answer.
100% Woodstock. I've been to the museum a couple of times because me and my wife have gone up to see a couple shows up there,
Yeah,
and just the whole allure of Woodstock was phenomenal. It's just how do you have so many people get together and not have a problem?
right. And it was almost spontaneous the way it
Right.
happened too. Like,
Oh yeah. It was just it was good. That's what I would do. It's a beautiful place. The area is just so calm. I love it.
yeah, that's a good answer. I like that. Are you an alien guy or a no alien guy?
Yes. Galaxy's far too big for there to be no aliens. I just don't see how it couldn't be.
Would you want to meet them or no?
Yes. I'm not
Yeah,
afraid of them.
I would too.
I
Yeah.
would be interested to see what they're like, just because I'd like to see them from afar first and just make sure. Make sure
Yeah,
we don't
yeah,
have a Mars attacks and
right.
situation here.
Yeah, you don't want to get probed and, have them, going through your butt to your tonsils or something
Right,
like.
exactly. Out my chest. Yeah, no, I would be super interested in it though.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm not asking for a lot, and I mean, I've told other people this, but and I think you know this. Like I probably shouldn't be here. I was the type of shit I was doing when I was in active use. Like this is all overtime for me.
Yeah,
So I would. That's one thing I would like is just to know the answer to that question, like for sure, one way or the other.
it's gotta be, right?
It's got to be. It's got to be.
Especially with all like the little bits and pieces that people have said and shown. It's like, all right, I don't know why you have to hide it, why it's such a big deal. Just let us know, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the public would not freak out at all.
No,
I don't
especially
think.
at this point, we've been prepped for this for so long now.
Oh yeah.
It's just like, oh, so it is true. Sorry, dude. I didn't mean to call you an idiot.
Right. That's all it would be. That's all it would be. Yeah.
So yeah, let's do this.
Nice. So, favorite football memory and then favorite non-football memory. So we did the Steve Young one. Do you have one beyond that? Do you have a second favorite football memory?
I can give you my least favorite football memory.
That's fine. I'll take that.
Um, Colin Kaepernick throwing a fade route to Michael Crabtree and Richard Sherman picking him off in the NFC
Oh.
Championship game, and then Richard
Mhm.
Sherman having his interview
Mhm.
with what's her name?
Was it what the fuck?
Oh gosh,
Aaron
yes, Aaron
Andrews?
Andrews. Yeah, and
Yeah.
he was just a complete asshole. I was just like, I hate that man. I
Yep.
cannot stand anybody who's going to act like that. I get you and Crabtree were jawing at each other the entire game. Leave it on the field. Don't be
Yeah.
an idiot.
And he became a good corner right there cuz he made one play.
Right, right. It's like you don't realize that you're just a great zone corner. You actually get beat on a regular basis if you played man.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, dude. I am not a 49ers fan, but yes, that I'm not a Seahawks fan either, and that rubbed me wrong. That whole
Yeah.
thing.
And you
Yeah.
know what? It was a good play because Kaepernick actually put the ball in a great spot. It was a good play, but it's like, all right, make the play, do something like this, talk shit to Crabtree real quick, done. Humble, be a little more humble. But the way he acted, I was like, I don't know, nope, nope.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. That was not fun. That whole end of that season was not fun because then the Seahawks went and blew it in the Super Bowl on the goal line, and the goddamn Patriots won another
Oh,
Super Bowl. So like
oh.
everything sucked about that.
Malcolm Butler's getting contracts now.
You're right, right.
Yeah, that was a tough end of the season. I really that was the season I thought the Niners were really going to go and win the Super Bowl. They really did.
Yeah. No, they looked great that whole year, man. And then you guys had a rough one around then too with that Ravens Super Bowl with the power going out and it almost coming back and
Mm-hmm.
that was a tough one too.
Lose by 3 points. It's just
Yeah.
it's been tough. I mean, they've been good. That's the worst part. It's like we've been good and we've been competitive. It's just like we've been there. We've been to the Super Bowl. We've been to NFC Championships games. It's just like so fucking close. So
Yeah.
close. Like they should have beat the Chiefs. There's no reason they should have lost to the Chiefs. I was watching that game at my brother's house and they were up and it was going into the fourth quarter. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go home and watch the rest of it at my house. It's late. So as I'm driving home, I hear, I forgot who it was, but picks off Patrick Mahomes. I was like, oh, yeah, this has to be over. And then I get home and I'm like, all right, Kansas City scored. And I'm watching, all right, three and out. All right, Kansas City's moving the ball. Then you have the Tyreek Hill catch, and you're like, how is he so fucking open?
Oh, I know.
And it's like, and then I hear so many people. It was like a, it was like a third down, and they decided play action pass. And the 49ers did, and they're like, why wouldn't you run the clock? Why wouldn't you run the clock? It was a stupid play. It's like, honestly, if you saw how open George Kittle was, that was the perfect play call. Chris Jones just made a fantastic play at the line and batted the ball down. Like he was wide open. That was a easy first down. And there you go. You have more rundowns. You're burning clock. You make that catch, you make that play, and you probably win the Super Bowl. You don't overthrow Emmanuel Sanders, you probably win the Super Bowl. So it's just a
Right.
couple of plays that happen that force them to lose that Super Bowl. So it's like I wasn't pissed. I was pissed off they lost, but it's like, all right, they were there. They were right there. Like that should have been a Super Bowl. But I'm not one of those guys like, this is fucking bullshit, baby. And it's like, no, just fucking heartbreaking. Stop it.
Yeah, yeah, it's not life or death. It's just football in the end. And then yeah, people are always going to second guess things. I was pissed for the longest time at the Falcons for not running 3 times and kicking a field goal.
Oh, I know. I think I still might be at that one though.
But once again, in the moment they were trying to make a play to seal it, and like the Niners were there.
Yeah.
Like
And it's Shanahan.
right, right.
But I mean, the play
Mm,
call was great. It was a great play call, and he was wide open. It's just Chris Jones made it. Chris Jones was huge in that game. He played so well, and especially in the second half. And it's just fuck. That's all I can
yeah.
say over that one. That one hurt.
Yeah, I hear you,
Um,
buddy. I hear you. At least shit. At least you guys have been there. It's been
yeah.
95 for the old Cowboys. So what's something hard you've overcome, and what did you learn from it?
Um, Raising a child during a pandemic.
Oh yeah, that'll count. Yep.
Uh, like when my wife was literally in labor when the pandemic decided to break out. Like we went in and there was nothing. We were there. They walked in. They said, "By the way, you guys can't have any visitors." We are like, "Why not?" They're like, "Well, there's a pandemic going around, and if you need anything in the fridge, just let us know. We'll send a nurse to go get it." Because we had all our food in the fridge because we were there for a couple days. And we're like, all right, so that's strange. So now I'm like freaking out. So I'm going home to grab some stuff so I can come back and get the kid. And then they told me all the things I do, like wash my hands, come in wearing a mask. I had to have a passcode. And they're like, only you can come in. Nobody else can come in. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
So then I start watching the news and I'm like, oh, well, this is fucking weird. So now it's like the first few months of raising our daughter, I'm like, we, I mean, the grandparents came and saw her like maybe two or three times, but it's like we didn't want to risk it. Like we didn't know how it was going to affect our daughter if she got sick that young. So we're just like, oh my god, it was like living inside the house for 4 months of just pure anxiety.
Mm.
So it was difficult, but having the kid there was nice. I mean, my work gave me furlough because of the pandemic, so I literally had like a maternity leave. I had 17 weeks home with my daughter after she was born.
Oh
So
wow.
so I got to stay home with my wife. My wife had a couple months, so that was nice. But it was it made me incredibly anxious, but we got through. We did a lot outside. We That's probably why she loves the fucking cows so much up at Yukon because we go there. Like
Yeah.
cows don't have this shit. Let's just go see them. So I mean, that was tough, but we all got through it, and I mean, things are starting to look up. It's still around, but
Mm.
it can't be for too much longer.
Yeah. Now it's monkeypox.
Yeah,
Seriously. Yeah.
yeah,
That's yeah. I keep reading about that now. It's like it's fucking one thing after the other. It's unbelievable.
golly.
But yeah, no, you guys got through it. You know, you made it out the other end.
Yep,
So
she's good. She's healthy. We're all healthy. So, and now we can see everybody.
yeah, yeah. So this is a Z-Mag special. He wanted me to add in what would your last words be if you were about to go out in a blaze of glory? And I still don't have an answer for this. But if you do, fire away.
So this is my answer because kind of watching our country specifically, and I guess not specifically, like the country and the world in general, the past few years, I'm kind of just looking at it. My last words would be, "How the fuck did we get here?"
I like that. That's fitting.
So it'd be like I'd say that, and it'd be this, and then it'd be doom, everybody with me. It's like, come on. There's
I
some
hear
just weird shit going on. It's just
I
don't
hear
really
you, buddy.
understand some of it.
I hear you, buddy. It's been tough. It's been a tough couple of years, that's for sure.
Yeah, but again, hopefully we can get through it. But who knows? Who
Yeah.
knows?
That's a good answer. I like that. So, hot water time. So this may or may not piss off people. I don't really care. So when first of all, favorite platform and why?
Um, Sleeper for me, it's I've always enjoyed Yahoo, but I just enjoy Sleeper just because the mobile site is just so easy to use for me, and it doesn't ever. I mean, there's some glitches with it, but is I can make my way through the ADP, so that doesn't really bother me. It's just so mobile friendly, and I do almost all my drafting from my phone,
Right.
so
Right. At work. Yep.
it's got to be that, and their position eligibility. There's so many players that are dual position eligible. It just makes for when you have the deep rosters like we play a lot of. It just makes it so much easier.
Yeah, I mean, I do enjoy those leagues too because of stuff like that, right? Like you got those outside linebacker guys that are, DL eligible and stuff like that, and then all the DTs and DEs are slapped together. Like, yeah, it gives you a lot more options. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So I'd have to go sleep with that. Other than that, it's Yahoo. I've always enjoyed Yahoo. I mean, that's where we started our IDP league, and we still play it on that. So I enjoy Yahoo.
Yeah, I love
Still have to
Yahoo.
get my diamond back though. I
I
lost it
know.
this year.
I can't believe you lost that. Like, it gives me anxiety trying to keep that every year.
Dude, it was the leagues with I joined with Nate for some odd reason. I just like I can't pick a good keeper, and then all of a sudden I had injuries, and I was just like I those two leagues I was just dirt trash in, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm watching. I'm like, all right, I'm getting dangerously low, and then I dropped, and I was like,
I know. It's not
mm,
it's tough, dude. And once you get to diamond, if you're in the 8, which most of us are, you get 8 free ones. You have to be 5 and 3 to just stay even
right,
each week,
right.
which is crazy.
So it's tough, but I want to get that diamond back.
Ah, you can do it.
Yeah,
It's coming.
I'm
It's coming.
motivated. I'm
Yeah.
motivated.
So in those leagues, in a non-sleeper like full DT, CB, the whole shebang, what's your typical approach to drafting? All things being even.
Um, for IDP, honestly, I'm smashing top tier linebackers first. I found there's a lot of guys. If you miss out on like Miles Garrett, Nick Bosa, I think after those two, honestly, I'm just smashing linebackers. And then if I can sneak in like Joey Bosa or somebody like that, like maybe a round or two later after getting like two good linebackers, I'll do that. But if I even miss out on that tier, I'll just add another linebacker, and then I'll wait to add some. And I mean, I usually almost every year draft one D end rookie, one of the high end D end rookies, just because they always drop because everybody's trying to get all these other guys. So I kind of make them like Aiden Hutchinson. I'm gonna
Mm,
try to be a priority target this year in
yep.
redraft leagues, just because he's gonna be good, but he's still gonna drop a little bit because people are gonna try to draft guys like Chase Young over him.
Right.
But I'd rather let people grab Chase Young, and I'm gonna wait 4 more rounds and get Montez Sweet.
Right. And here's the deal with Hutchinson. And I don't know what Thibodeau's going to be on like sites like Yahoo and stuff, but Hutchinson didn't have stats last year. So when people sort for last year's stats, he's not going to be
Right.
there.
Right. Right, because that's with Yahoo. That's how you do a lot of it. It's like, all right, well, what happened last year? How did you do last year? And then you can compare. But yeah, so I almost go rookie D end every year. So D line, I usually wait on. I'll try to grab a mid tier guy and a rookie, and I just smash linebacker.
It is kind of interesting how it's fluctuated to the point where there's not linebackers changed so much over the past 10 years or whatever that like then the number is dwindling.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And they're playing. There's so many few three down linebackers now. It's like if you can land the top three of the top five, two of the top five, even, it's like that's huge because you have guys like you have Darius Leonard, Roquan Smith, and then last year Jordan Brooks. But even after that, it's almost like a tier break. And then you have another group of guys who are just like tackle monsters, but they don't have the playmaking numbers. And it's just like, then it's another tier break. And it's a pretty big tier break after that. And it's like, if you can land those playmaking and tackle guys, then you could have a very productive team.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And that is definitely a good way to go about it. I always play it, risky like an it. Well, I don't know. I've been doing this long enough. I don't really care. So
Right.
it's like I know I'm gonna get the Alex Singletons of the world. So I'll just eat it the first month. I don't care. Like you can beat my brains in. I just need to sneak into playoffs and have my team ready for playoffs.
Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, and I just if I miss that elite tier of DNs, I just got it. Like it all depends on draft position, I guess. Really.
Yeah, it changes, right? Depending what's going on. Yeah. Yeah, okay. And then what are your thoughts on fantasy Twitter? I mean, there's been some good, there's been some bad. What's your takeaway?
Learn how to use the mute button.
That's it,
There's
man.
there's so much my dick's bigger than your dick going on. It's just like everybody wants to be a guy, wants to be the top of something. It's like it went from everybody using Twitter to enjoy reading shit and like trying to help each other to I'm better than you. This person sucks because of this. It's like, all right, how about you just try to, push your content instead of saying this person sucks. Like it sucked when you start putting out work that you love and people just start attacking you just because it's you, just because it's either, I don't know if it's jealousy or if because you have a differing view on something, or if they want to go after you because say you've been doing it longer and they want to look like, hey, I'm challenging this guy now, and it's like, I don't want to do that. If you want to do that, here, have fun, enjoy yourself, and I'm just gonna keep going on doing my thing. It's like, I don't want to do that. It's literally high school. So learn how to use the mute button and you can clear up your timeline,
Yep.
talk to the people you enjoy, and the fans are going to follow. The fans, your fans will follow you, so you don't need to have all these other analysts follow you to read your shit.
Exactly. I'm with you, man. My timeline is a perfectly curated. It's like a garden, of just shit posts and things that I want to see, and
Cats,
none.
shit, and
Yeah,
negativity.
right. None of that fucking nonsense. It's all gone.
Oh my
Between
god.
between muting words, muting people, blocking people. I don't give a shit.
Yep.
Fuck them.
Dude, it's totally nuts. It's There's so much freaking drama. So I started a league with my buddy Evan, who he's over at Dynasty Nerds. We started this league called Swimming with the Sharks, and it was a co-manager league. So we wanted to bring in and just have a bunch of people co-manage leagues together. There's been so much drama in that league. People just randomly leaving, people complaining about stuff. I'm like last year we had a guy. He We're trying to do a startup, right? He auto drafts his first like four of his first five picks. I literally tell him like, dude, if you're not around, let me know. But otherwise, I mean, I'm gonna try to find somebody to fill your spot because obviously you're not here. Never says a word, never says a word. So I found somebody to replace him, brought him in. Actually, Kyle. Kyle came in and took his spot. After I booted him, he went on a rant on Twitter how I'm an asshole, how I treated him like shit. I'm just a douchebag. I'm like, you never even responded to me when I asked you shit. And then, oh, and what kicked it off? This is what kicked it off, right? It came up to like the 11th round, and it's a 16 team super flex full IDP.
Ooh.
And it came out like all the quarterbacks were gone, and he he was away. He was on vacation, so he said, I told him, I was like, hey, just send me whatever you have, and I'll make the pick for you. I'll push the pick. He's like, all right. So he's like, when I come up, I want Jordan Love. It was for Green Bay, and I was like, all right, that's fine. So the next guy, the next very next pick is Jordan Love.
Ooh. Yep.
So he wakes up the next morning and he's like, "Oh, see, this is why you don't tell somebody what your pick's going to be." I'm like, "Are you assuming that I'm in collusion with him taking Jordan Love?" And he's like, "I'm just saying it's kind of weird. I tell you what my pick's going to be, and then all of a sudden he's the next pick." I'm like, "Dude, I
What?
could give two fucks if you have Jordan Love. Please take Jordan Love. Like, are you kidding me?"
Wow.
And yeah, that was all on Twitter too. I was just like, "Dude, just stop.
It's
Just stop." And
yeah.
that's like this is the shit I don't want to deal with. I want to. This is why when we had all of our freaking COVID leagues together, I was like, these are the guys I want to hang out with. I know these guys. I know all of these guys. It's like I don't want to be in leagues with other analysts. It's like I've tried this. It's like the fishbowl's kind of cool just because there's so many and everybody's generally quite nice around that league. But it's like once you start getting into leagues and then all of a sudden people don't care about them, they're not paying attention because they're too big for this league or they don't really care too much about this league. I just joined because they asked me to, and it's like, who the fuck do you think you are?
Yeah.
It's like you're just one of us. It's like nobody's bigger than anybody else. Sure, somebody has a different job. Somebody's getting paid to write a little more, but trust me, I bet there's plenty of fans out here that know twice as much shit as you do. So
Oh,
shut the fuck up.
1,000%. Most of the big analysts fucking suck at
Oh
actually playing
Lord.
the game. Have not won a damn thing, and that
Right.
is a goddamn fact.
Right.
I know listeners and readers that would wipe the floor with the top level analysts.
Yep. Sean.
Oh yeah, yep. Sean with the W.
Yes.
God, Peter Randall, Brian Serrano,
Yep.
Ivan Neal. Those guys would fucking annihilate all these
Yep.
clowns.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. But yeah, Twitter. It's not fun.
Yeah, yeah, curate your timeline.
Yes.
That's the good advice right
Learn the
there.
mute button.
That's it. Good stuff, buddy. So yeah, what are you working on this year? Have you decided if you're locking into anything for regular season, or are you just going
Um,
where the wind takes you?
I
Or
kind of want to rock where the wind takes me, but I mean, obviously, if we need somebody to fill a spot, I'll do it. I just like I've found like a lot of the things that I really enjoy writing or stuff that like things that are going almost like reaction pieces to what's going on or something that can help your team that isn't something weekly. Like, all right, so if maybe trade targets or something like that that you can come up with after like 4 weeks, like things like that. Like, I like to do something different that not every single site has. You know what I mean? That's going every week, every week, every week. So I already have the projections for the tool and just for people to see. So that I've already done. Um, I plan on obviously writing whenever I can and if needed to fill in anywhere. But that's kind of where my head's at. I want to find different ways to help people in IDP, things that just aren't every week. Like back in the a couple of years ago, I was doing it was like weekly defensive line sleepers based off of the offensive line matchup. And
mm,
I was just matching off that. And it actually, the more I researched on it, I was like, holy shit, this is actually working.
yeah, yeah. No, you're not the only one that does that. Gary does that too.
Yeah.
He streams D tackle like religiously
Yeah.
and does it well. It's insane.
So like things like that. It just I finally broke down and bought a PFF subscription. Finally did it. Just for certain things like pressures and things like that.
Yeah.
But and yeah, just different articles. I don't want to do the same thing all the time. I love doing it. Like I love draft time. Like I did the 100 player full IDP offensive big board just off of rookies. Like that was fantastic. It was all like quotes from all of the guys from the magazine too, which was cool. I took direct quotes from all the profiles from the magazine, from the guys who wrote in the magazine, which was fun. Give a little link to their profiles and stuff, so that was fun. But just things like that. It's just that all that's really fun for me to do. Like my favorite article I ever wrote, I think, was about Hunter Renfro. It's like
Mm,
how when he was a rookie, how he was like the most undervalued rookie receiver in that draft, and then compared him to Andy Isabella and why he's going to be a better receiver than Andy Isabella, and just like broke it down him versus Andy Isabella. Like he's going to be twice the receiver Isabella will ever be, and it ended up coming true. And I was like, that's the shit I like to do, like putting a couple days into an article that is just like fucking packed full of shit to just and then to see it come to fruition. It's like that's the shit I
yeah.
like to do.
No, that's awesome, man. And you know, you've definitely earned that, you know. Like I think we all have that have been here for a while. Like I'm doing a article series on cats of fantasy football Twitter. I'm not even kidding. I'm
I
doing
love
that.
it. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it.
Yeah, and
And
you know, I don't give a shit if anyone reads it.
it's still fun. It's fun as hell.
Yeah, we, you know, between you, me, Nate, like IDP dude, Biddy, Sean, like the early guys, like it, you know, it's built, and now the you know the new ones can come in and do that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, crap, the writers they have on now at IDP guys, they've just been all off season, just been pumping out
Yeah,
articles. So it's like, keep it
right.
up, guys, man.
Yeah,
But
right. The new wave, exactly. You know, I wouldn't even call like C Mags and Kyle that. Like they're established dudes now.
oh yeah,
But
definitely.
guys like Jace, like he is gonna be a fucking star. You know what I
Yeah, man.
mean?
Yeah, I love Jace. Jace is a great dude. He always hits me up and just like he's just a genuinely good person.
Yeah.
And
That
Kyle, I talked to Kyle. Kyle's actually read the first draft of my book that I wrote just because I was like, I needed somebody else to read it. I was like, all right, hey, do you like this shit? He's like, yeah, fuck yeah, send it to me. It's like, all right, here you go. He's got one chapter left. And I sent him the first draft, and then I sent it to Josh, and I just asked for notes. I said, "What do you think?" So he's just giving me little tidbits here and there. So I've gone through the first five revamped now to almost like final product, and then we're on chapter 6, and he's got challenges out for me. So
nice, dude. Well, that's awesome. I will certainly buy a copy when it gets published. That's for
oh
sure.
yeah, I'll send one
Good.
your way.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Anything you want to plug, talk about, you tell me. Floor is yours.
Um, just check out the IDP guys the rankings tool. I mean, it's got the projections. It's got over 300 and I think it's 305 play IDP players ranked. Well, not ranked, but projected for next season right now. So you plug in your scoring, whatever your scoring is, and the rankings adjust based off of your scoring setting. So just based off of projections. So it's incredibly helpful for people who are I mean, there's so many ways you can adjust your scoring in IDP, and instead of everybody posturing and trying to make their scoring the best, why not come up with a tool to work for everybody?
Yeah,
And
and that's even offense too. Like
right,
how many leagues are you in that have the same scoring? I can't think of any, right?
right,
Like we got past that baby shit fucking years ago.
right,
Everyone has a league that's been running multiple years. They've got their own tweaks on it. They've got their own take on things. No one has the same scoring unless you're in fucking kindergarten.
right, exactly. So it's like, all right, we got the tool. That was like my main goal last year, and I got the projections out early, and then went through, and I was like, man, this thing's fucking cool. So check out the scoring tool. It's fantastic. Nate did a great job. Just check out the website. Check out the rookie mag. I mean, our rookie mag is fantastic this year. Over 100 prospects in the profiled, and then I think we have like 150 ranked. So that's a great tool, even, and it's just fun to read. Honestly, you want to
Yeah,
catch up on some of
it's
these
a
rookies.
real magazine. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it's so sweet. Like to
yeah.
get that thing, and it's like, yeah.
I mean, Nate's honestly with IDP guys, he's just done such a phenomenal job. I got to give him all the credit in the world. He's built this from literally nothing. He built it to where it is now, and it's just two thumbs up, man. He's just done great. The website's beautiful. He's now got his design business where he's helping other websites, and the dude's just he's literally building his own life, what he wants. So I got to give Nate all the credit in the world. Plug Nate. That's what I'm
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah, plug date.
But as odd as that sounds now after I said it.
Eh, that's all right. It's on brand. It's on brand for
But
us.
yeah, and then just keep an eye out on my Yukon SI stuff. I'm gonna try to make a couple games this year and just fill you guys in on how Yukon's gonna finally be something in NCAA football.
That
Hopefully,
that would be great.
that would be fantastic.
I'm looking forward to
I
it.
really want to get a interview with Lou Spanos, talk some defense.
Mm,
That's what I want to do
that would be wild.
because I don't think a lot of these guys really know that. Like I told them, I write for fantasy football. It's actually, do you know the draft Bible at all? The guys who
Yeah,
made
I've
the
heard
draft
of it.
Bible.
Yeah, yeah.
So the guys who created the draft Bible actually run the SI page for UConn. Rick Saratella and Zach Petra. So I've been talking with them more, and I was like, hey, so we've got to know each other a little better. And Rick's been coming up for the spring practices from Jersey. He lives in Jersey, and he comes up, and he was going over all the spring practices. So he's he shot me some notes for stuff that we went over for the teams together, and it's just been kind of cool shooting the shit with the guys about the team. So maybe we can get some press passes or something. So my goal is like I wanted my brother, you, Nate, we can all at least go to a UConn game this year. I mean, we're all in state. Well,
Oh
most of us
yeah,
back.
yeah. No, they're great fun, man. There's so
and
much.
and they're cheap. So, and if I can get us some press passes, maybe go meet some of the guys or something, that'd be cool as hell.
Oh, dude, that'd be awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I hope it all works out, man. That'd be awesome. Let me get you out of here on this. The most important question in the entire interview is most road rage poop related.
Oof. So mornings, no. After work, yes. Too many people don't like to shit at work. They're like, I gotta get home and take a shit. Lunch is about to run through me.
I think I agree because I tend not to crap at work unless I can like get there's like this one bathroom that's like the family bathroom that you can lock and it's like secluded. Like if
Yeah.
I can get that, sure. Other than that, I need that home court advantage.
Oof. And you get a tough little booty, Johnny. I don't know how you hold it. How do you hold it, man? Like when I'm at work, like the coffee hits me when I'm at work. I'm just like, all right, well, you know what? It's gonna happen. I'm just going to take a shit. I don't care. There we have two buildings, so we have a used car building and a new car building. I just go into the used car building. Nobody uses the upstairs there. There's a bathroom there.
Nice.
That bathroom.
So you got your own little spot away from everyone. You're not going to get interrupted or whatever.
That's where I get my waiver claims.
I love that. Well, thank you, my friend. This was I knew this was going to be excellent, and it was.
It
So
was.
thank you for coming on. I mean, you guys already know him. I literally just transported. It's all the same people that listen and read all our other shit that are
Oh yeah,
listening to this. So,
I
so you
feel
guys
it.
already know him. But it's at Joey the Tooth IDP. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and let me know when you get home. We'll hang out. We'll actually see each other.
Yeah, no doubt. I will. I definitely will. Thank you, everyone, for listening. It was another wonderful shenanigans packed episode. We'll see you next Monday at 7 a.m. Have a great rest of the week. Take care. Bye bye.